He used to think no was a dangerous word, that it meant weakness or laziness, an admission that he couldn't keep up. For years, he said yes to everything because he thought that's what good people did, what successful people did, what strong people did. Every time he felt tired or overwhelmed, he swallowed it down, convinced that discomfort was proof he was doing something worthwhile. But the exhaustion stacked up, quiet and invisible, until suddenly it wasn't, until his body and mind simply refused to keep going. It was a quiet refusal, the first time he said no. Nothing dramatic. The world didn't spin off its axis, no one yelled, and the sky didn't fall. But inside, something unfamiliar shifted. An ache of guilt, yes, but also an almost imperceptible sense of relief, like loosening a knot that had been tied too tight for too long. He realized that recognizing his own limits wasn't selfish, but necessary. Limits weren't failures. They were information, boundaries carved out by experience and pain, guiding him back to himself. Unlearning the old lessons took time. He had to forgive himself for not knowing better, for all the years spent believing he was only worth what he accomplished, for the times he'd ignored the signals that he needed rest. That wasn't weakness. That was survival. Trying to outrun a culture that worshipped burnout and called it ambition. He learned to sit with the discomfort of rest, to treat recovery like something sacred, not a luxury. It was quiet work, mostly invisible, and no one clapped for him. He learned to let that be enough. He came back quieter, more selective about where he spent his energy, more willing to leave things undone. There was no triumphant return, no rush of inspiration, just a steadier, gentler pace. He built new patterns, ones that didn't burn so hot or so fast. He stopped measuring himself by how much he could endure and started noticing the strength in empathy, in saying no, in honoring his own needs. It wasn't about becoming unstoppable, it was about becoming sustainable. And that finally felt like healing.